So, here we are. This is the all-new 2025 Cube Attain C62 SLT road bike, and in this episode I will make a comparison between this Cube bike and Canyon Endurace CF8 Di2 road bike. So you see, this Cube Attain road bike has a retail price of 3,000 British pounds, and the Canyon Endurace bike has a retail price of 3,500 British pounds. And I think it's very interesting to compare these two endurance road bikes because they sit in a very similar price range, and also Canyon up till now has always been the benchmark for a good value for money. But now with this new lineup of Cube bikes for 2025, I think they are doing a stunning job. So of course in this episode I will give you the full buyer's guide for these bikes, and then at the end I will tell you which one of these bikes, in my opinion, is currently a better choice. So let's kick off with first defining who are these bikes for. So both Cube Attain and the Canyon Endurace are a typical example of an endurance road bike. So a bit more relaxed geometry, designed primarily for the long days in the saddle, and as I always say, I believe that these types of bikes are more suitable for a majority of the bike riders than some kind of, fully aerodynamically optimized bikes or some kind of hardcore racing bikes. So this is kind of the positioning of these two bikes. Now when we speak about the paint schemes on these bikes, when it comes to the Cube, there is only one paint scheme on offer. This is this totally blacked out stealth paint scheme. But when you look at the Canyon, you have three paint schemes on offer. One is this beautiful coconut paint scheme, as they call it. And then you have this very nice, like a slate gray paint scheme. And then you also have this totally blacked out stealth paint scheme. So definitely when it comes to the paint schemes, you see that the Canyon is kind of winning here because at least you have three paint schemes to choose from. Okay, now we can move on and really see what you are getting for your hard-earned money, and we can start with the frame and the fork on these bikes. So looking at the Cube Attain, so this is a carbon fiber frame and the fork, and this is the Cube's what they call C62 carbon fiber frame and the fork. As you see, internally routed cables, press fit bottom bracket, and also 12mm through axles, both front and the back. And with this endurance kind of geometry of the frame and the fork, you can also notice here a bit of aerodynamically optimized frame, but this is not the point of this bike. I have to mention here that with Cube you are getting a 3 years warranty on the carbon fiber frame, and this is definitely an area where Cube should increase their warranty. On the other hand, when you look at the Canyon Endurace bike, this carbon fiber frame is what Canyon calls their CF level carbon fiber frame and the fork. And also it comes with the internally routed cables, press fit bottom bracket, and 12mm through axles. When it comes to Canyon's frames, I have to mention here that the warranty on Canyon's frames is 6 years warranty, which is of course much better than on the Cube bikes, and definitely this is one of the advantages when you are buying Canyon bikes. So all in, when it comes to these two frames and the forks, I mean, perfectly fine, no special complaints from me. And I will just also mention here that this Canyon's frame, a CF level, which is kind of the lowest level of the carbon fiber that Canyon does, is gonna be a bit lighter than the Cube's frame. Probably we are speaking about 100 grams in the same sizing of the bike. Okay, moving on. Let's talk about some of the smaller components you are getting on the bike. So when you look at the Cube Attain, so the seat post is a carbon fiber seat post, absolutely excellent stuff. Then you have the saddle directly from Cube. Since saddles are a personal preference, it's easy to replace if you don't like it. And then when you look at the handlebar and the stem, in this instance, a Cube will give you a classical aluminum stem and a carbon fiber handlebar. So now you are noticing here that this handlebar and the stem are separate pieces, which is absolutely excellent in my opinion, and I'm glad that they've included a carbon fiber handlebar here. So if you are adjusting your position on the bike, this is going to be super easy to do, and if you are upgrading anything in the future, it's going to be very easy to upgrade because nothing is proprietary here when it comes to this handlebar and the stem. On the other hand, when you look at the Canyon Endurace, Canyon comes with their one-piece carbon fiber handlebar and the stem. So this is done primarily for the aerodynamic reasons, but definitely you need to be careful here that when you are choosing the correct sizing of the bike, that this handlebar and the stem will definitely fit you. Because if you need to replace anything in the future, this is a proprietary carbon fiber solution, so you will have to probably buy it directly from Canyon if you need to change, anything with the stem length or the handlebar width. So this is always, a bit tricky with these one-piece handlebars and the stem if anything needs upgrading in the future. When it comes to the saddle and the seat post, this is a superb carbon fibers seat post from Canyon. They're very famous VCLS, so it's going to soak up a lot of road bumps, and this saddle is a physique saddle. I have used physique saddles in the past, and definitely for me they work perfectly fine. Again, if this is not something that you are used to, very easy to replace in the future. Now let's move on to the group sets that you are getting on these bikes. So Cube Attain comes with the Shimano Ultegra Di2 12-speed electronic group set, which is, absolutely stunning group set. So everything from the shifters, front mech, rear mech, also the crankset is the Shimano Ultegra 5034 chainrings, also the cassette Shimano Ultegra 1134 cassette, which is absolutely beautiful. A lot of range here, very easy to climb some steep mountains, and the chain is a classical Shimano's 12-speed chain. I'm guessing here they are using some of the Shimano's mountain bike chains, but that shouldn't worry you because you can use any 12-speed compatible chain. Looking at the Canyon Endurace bike, it is the same situation here. So the group set is the full Shimano Ultegra Di2 group set, so 12-speed electronic group set, stunning again. And this is the shifters, front mech and the rear mech, also Shimano Ultegra crankset, double chainrings at the front, and Shimano Ultegra cassette, 1134 cassette, again beautiful range of gears here. And the chain, a classical 12-speed Shimano chain from the mountain bike world. Same story applies here. You can upgrade the chain or change the chain with any 12-speed compatible chain from the Shimano's group set. So the full group set on both bikes, absolutely the same stuff. No differences, no complaints here. And also when you look at the braking system, so Shimano Ultegra hydraulic disc brakes front and the back on this Canyon bike, 160mm both front and the back, absolutely superb. I'm so glad they included this. And the braking rotors are proper Shimano Ultegra braking rotors. And the same story is with Cube Attain, so Shimano Ultegra hydraulic disc brakes front and the back, 160mm braking rotors front and the back, and again we have here excellent Shimano Ultegra braking rotors with excellent heat dissipation and also excellent stopping power. So there is no differences here when it comes to the braking system, which is a superb Shimano Ultegra braking system. But now let's talk about the wheel sets, because here there is a big difference between these two bikes. So starting with the Cube Attain. So Cube has the carbon fiber wheel set from Newman, so in-house brand of Cube. This carbon fiber wheel set is 38mm high. Also, when I'm looking at the specifications, I'm currently looking at the Newman Advanced Wheel Set 50, so we can make some adjustments for this 38 wheel set. So as I said, a carbon fiber tubeless ready wheel set. Probably the total package weight is going to be somewhere in the region of 1,450 grams, 21 spokes front and the back, 12mm through axles, and of course it comes with some kind of Newman own hubs, probably classical sealed cartridge bearings, and inner width of this wheel set is 23mm. One thing you gotta be aware here, that with this Newman Advanced carbon fiber wheel set, it is a classical hooked wheelset, which is absolutely excellent. So it's not one of those, hookless wheelsets. So you can definitely, mount here any of the tires you want. There won't be any specific limitations on the hookless wheelset like some of them have. So this is a classical hooked carbon fiber wheelset, and pretty light in my opinion at approximately 1450 grams. Also, the tires on this Cube Attain bike are the Continental Grand Prix tires, and they are using 30mm tires both front and the back, if I'm not mistaken. And the good thing also with this frame and the fork is that it accepts all the way to 34mm tires, no problem. And this is always good because ultimately what you want is high air volume in a tire, so the bike ride is smoother and that you can also run this tire on a bit lower pressures. Okay, on the other hand, when you look at the Canyon Endurace bike, so the Canyon is using a Di2 Endurance wheelset, and this Di2 Endurance wheelset, LN wheelset, is an aluminum wheelset. So that's a huge difference, between the Newman wheelset, which is carbon fiber, and this aluminum wheelset. This Di2 Endurance LN is based on the Di2 E 1800 wheelset, and this wheelset comes with the Di2 370 hubs, but these hubs are using the Ratchet LN 18 system, so not the best what Di2 can do. And also I have to mention here that the rim height in this instance is 23 millimeters, and if you are buying this wheelset on the open market, approximately $550. Also, I have to mention here that the total weight of this wheelset is approximately 1,700 and let's call it 50 grams. So, much heavier than that carbon fiber wheelset from Newman. So probably we are speaking about 300 grams heavier wheelset. And of course, this wheelset from Di2 is also tubeless ready, and internal width is 22 millimeters. So of course, it's a bit tricky to compare these two wheels because Di2 is aluminum, Newman is a carbon fiber, and there's a huge, weight penalty that you are paying with these Di2 wheels. So this is kind of a big difference between these two bikes. And I'm a big fan of Di2 wheels, and when it comes to aluminum wheelset, this is definitely a superb wheelset with classical Di2 370 hubs, but still that Newman wheelset is a very good offering on that Cube bike. Also, I forgot to mention that the Canyon bike comes with the Schwalbe tires, I believe, and these Schwalbe tires, they should measure 28 millimeters at the front, 30 millimeters at the back, and again, this frame and the fork can easily accept up to 34 millimeter tires, both front and the back. So the same stuff with Cube. If you are upgrading the tires in the future, then definitely you can easily fit 34 millimeter tires, and I would definitely advise you to do it because, again, much more air volume and much more smoother bike ride. So now in a summary, when you look at these two bikes, where Cube Attain retails for 3,000 British pounds and Canyon Endurace retails for 3,500 pounds, I can definitely recommend you that if you are in the market for this type of endurance road bike, you have to put Cube Attain C62 SLT on #1 place. You gotta check this bike and see if it's available, because this would be my first choice. I definitely wouldn't be bothered so much with the 3 years warranty on the carbon fiber frame compared to the 6 years warranty with Canyon, but the price difference of 500 British pounds, and you also get a carbon fiber wheel set on the Cube bike, which is much lighter, is definitely a big difference between these two bikes. Also, I forgot to mention that it seems like as a total package in some kind of size medium, this Cube bike could be approximately 8 kilograms, while the Canyon Endurace bike could be approximately 8.4 kilograms. Again, majority of that weight will come from the differences in the wheel set, because it seems to me that the difference between that carbon fiber wheel set, Newman carbon fiber wheel set on Cube, and the classical aluminum wheel set on the Canyon is approximately 300 grams, at least in my opinion. So definitely I would suggest you to first have a look at the Cube Attain C62 SLT bike, because they've just done an excellent job with this bike at 3,000 British pounds retail price.